Welcome to the Wisconsin Business Hall of Fame induction ceremony benefiting junior achievement. Please welcome Michael Frona, President of Junior Achievement of Wisconsin.
Good evening. What a joy it is to see each and every one of you tonight. In a way, it's like a coming out party, and we're delighted that you are here to celebrate many accomplishments of leaders in our community. This gathering is a renewal of sorts. For many of us, this may be the first time we're gathered in a group in the last 15 months, which candidly sometimes felt like 15 years. Although junior achievement encountered our share of hiccups and speed bumps, our experience pales in comparison to the families who lost loved ones, for those who have struggled to navigate from the classroom to the living room, and for the hard workers who experienced hardship because of a loss of job and opportunity. But we endured because of the continued generosity of so many people in this community, many of you who are here tonight. But we also endured because of a dedicated and committed group of leaders, our board, our volunteers, and our partners in schools and in other youth-serving organizations. I can't tell you how excited I am to let you know that we're ready to go back full force in the fall to serve students in the classrooms, because that's what they've been waiting for. And that's what they need. Please help me welcome one of our most dedicated volunteers, the leader of Junior Achievement, Chair of the Junior Achievement of Wisconsin Board of Directors, Kara Kaiser. Kara?
Thank you, Michael. And on behalf of the Board of Directors, as Michael said, we are both so delighted that you've joined us to celebrate the significant and meaningful achievements of the individuals we induct tonight have made to their business and to their community. And a special welcome to those joining us via live stream tonight, because that's what we do now, which is great. We can have people here and we can live stream. I am humbled and honored to introduce this year's laureates. So please help me welcome the class of 2021 laureates. Laureates, please stand as you are introduced. Jack Link. Dave Scogan. Tim Sullivan. We also induct Daniel or Jack McKeithen posthumously. Jack's wife, Patty, is with us to accept this honor. Patty, will you please stand? These individuals have paved the way for future generations to succeed. They live their dreams and maybe a few nightmares along the way, while mentoring and nurturing the talent of hundreds, if not thousands, of others. At Junior Achievement, we prepare and inspire students to live their dreams in thousands of classrooms throughout the state. JA volunteers change lives and set a successful course for young people. These students will be the leaders, business owners, and your employees. Tonight's honorees are truly incredible role models. We are also proud to honor award winners Jim Pop as Distinguished Executive and Patricia Contreras as Peak Performer. Both have demonstrated passion and leadership and make Milwaukee a better place with their community involvement. We will also have the honor Jonah Larson, this year's Young Entrepreneur of the Year. We'll get to hear from him as well. So congratulations, Jim, Patricia, and Jonah. And with that, I'll turn it back to Michael.
Thank you, Kara. As we continue on with our program, I want to just make sure we have opportunity to extend our deep appreciation to our sponsors this evening, without whom this event would not be possible. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, FIS, our reception sponsor, Johnson Financial Group, and our award sponsors, EY and Wells Fargo, as well as the many generous vice chairs, which you'll see noted on the screens during dinner. Sincere thanks to everyone, including all of you, who've made this event possible. As we enjoy our salads and get on with our program, it's my pleasure to introduce you to our MC for the evening, someone from in the Milwaukee area, if you're familiar with WISN Channel 12 News, anchor, retired, Kathy Michaelby. Kathy?
Thank you, Michael. So I'm retired. Some things have changed. I don't really respond well to deadlines anymore, Hannah. I can talk forever. That still goes, as Sadhna knows, at the Patricia table. And retirement has been a blast. 2018 was when that happened, and so things changed. I let my hair pour out naturally. I sort of started treating life as just a lot of fun, but I still watch the news like a crazy person because I was in the game for over 40 years. I thank Kara for inviting me to be the MC today. Her mom is one of my favorite people on earth, and being here is just a wonderful feeling. What an amazing organization. At Channel 12, we used to have a slogan, "Together we can make a difference." You guys have been doing that long before we ever did it and long after we retired that slogan. So give yourselves a giant hand to start this event. As you can imagine, it has been a trying year, as it has been for everyone. It's true of Junior Achievement as well. Schools and classrooms have changed in ways we previously could not even conceive. But I must share how inspired I am by the transformative ways JA reimagined their programs to continue serving students when they needed it the most. And how amazing it is that we get to celebrate this evening right here at the Junior Achievement Coles Education Center. What an impressive building, what an impressive group of people working in there. I had a chance to talk with some of them today. This is the home of JA BizTown and JA Finance Park, you all know that. And during the simulation, students are engaged and excited in the process of learning. That's a trick, and you guys have really figured out how to do that. They experience what it means to plan for their futures, plan a budget, run a city, and because of JA, they are better prepared to enter the workforces of many of the companies represented here tonight. Wasn't cocktail hour fun? I just have to say, I stood in the back and I listened to the laughter and the roar of just happiness about being together again. And so let's give us a hand for actually being together again. How amazing. We are, of course, going to learn more about JA this evening as it continues, and I'll try to remember the deadlines. I don't wear a watch anymore. I'm retired. But we do have a little game that might go on later tonight, so I will try to behave myself. I am pleased now to present tonight's first award, the Peak Performer Award, which recognizes an individual who has shown excellence in his or her field and a commitment to the community. The indicators of peak performance go beyond numbers or statistics. It's defined by character, by ethics, by values. Our award winner tonight has demonstrated that how you deliver on your business mission is just as important as what you deliver. Our 2021 peak performer, Patricia Contreras, bring up the signs, ladies, embodies characteristics such as loyalty, compassion, and hard work while delivering at the highest level as Vice President of Public Affairs at Rockwell Automation. Patricia is respected and a true leader in every sense of the word. Let's learn more about Patricia.
Patricia Contreras has devoted her career to community outreach in the greater Milwaukee area through some of the city's most notable corporations. Now, leading the way for Rockwell Automation's investment in the community, she continues to make her mark.
I would describe Patricia as someone who is extremely intelligent, very strategic, has a heart as big as the world. She cares deeply about her family, about her community, about Milwaukee. She is someone who has an excellent blend of business acumen combined with personal passion and loyalty.
You know, I hired Patricia at Rockwell Automation mostly because I saw great passion in her to make social change through philanthropy. She is very deliberate, thoughtful, and strategic in her decision making. And to be honest, with no disrespect to anyone else I've ever hired, Patricia's the best hire I ever made in my career.
Patricia's career is a model for other young people who might look upon her for advice.
I think Patricia would offer advice to a younger generation around their business career or life would be to have courage, to take risks, to be willing to do something that's maybe a little outside of your comfort zone. And when you have the opportunity to be at the table where decisions are being made, make sure your voice is heard so that you're influencing how decisions get made and representing a broader perspective and diversity. I think she'd also say, have fun. You know, life is short. Enjoy every minute of it. Hug your family, give them a kiss. Make sure you prioritize what really matters in life.
Her leadership style is calculated, effective, and empowers those around her to be their best as well.
Patricia approaches leadership with the thought that I'd rather rein in my talent pool than have to push them out to deliver. She gives people the ability to outperform. She empowers her staff to be ambassadors, and she'll take that risk in order to make a really significant difference.
In recognition of all she has done to mobilize change and impact the youth of our city, Junior Achievement of Wisconsin proudly presents the Peak Performer Award, sponsored by Johnson Financial Group, to Patricia Contreras.
Please join me in congratulating this year's Peak Performer Award winner, Patricia Contreras. She knows.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you, Junior Achievement. When I was driving here, I said anyone who knows me will be short and sweet, and I'll sit down. But I think I need to live up to the Patricia that they described in that video. And I reflect on the narrative. on the narrative on why I'm always typically the only in a room or on stage. And I want us to really think about that. I think the narrative always is the underdog against all odds. But the truth is, we have a role to play in that. The little girl who grew up in Milwaukee on the corner of 9th and Scott grew up in a family just like everyone in this room, with 2 parents, a beautiful sister, a work ethic that was instilled by 2 hardworking parents who said, you can be anything you want to be in life, you just have to work hard. They instilled in me that education was important. And I'm proud to say I'm a product of Milwaukee Public Schools. And it wasn't until, yes, shout out to MPS. It wasn't until I hit the university space and quite frankly in corporate America that I was ever treated differently. And that hits you, all the confidence that was told to you as a young child. It starts to eat away at that confidence. And what I want you to walk away with is that we have control over that and how we raise our children to see difference, to embrace difference, to foster a culture of belonging where all people feel they can bring their authentic selves. We own that. We also own systems that are in place to prevent individuals who look like me, who have the same background that I do, from achieving something as significant as this. I will call it out as systemic racism. And so I hope that we come out of this pandemic really looking at what our role is in creating an equitable future for all children so that my children don't have to continue being the only and really can bring their authentic selves. And with that, the beautiful ideas and innovation and everything that we're striving so hard to achieve as a country and as a community, if we really embrace children and give them the opportunities that we all have accessible by nature of the communities in which we're born in and the families that we're privileged to be born in, can we just imagine what a beautiful community and what a beautiful country we can have. So I just want to thank Junior Achievement once again, my team, my sister, my husband, and my 2 children who are watching at home, and I hope you have a great evening. Congratulations to all of the awardees today. Thank you.
All right, Contreras kids, don't turn it off now. This was, that's what I was always saying when we were going to a commercial break, telling you something really exciting is coming up. So we cannot leave the room. All right, well, now the Distinguished Executive Award sponsored by Wells Fargo. Here to present the award is Jim Quinlan, Senior Vice President and Regional Managing Director at Wells Fargo.
Thank you, Kathy. Well, good evening, everybody. At Wells Fargo, we are pleased once again, I think this is about the 5th year in a row, that we are sponsoring this award, and its intent is to highlight an individual's excellence and professional commitment in the community. At Wells Fargo, we're honored to be able to invest in the community in 4 key areas: financial health, housing affordability, small business growth, and environmental sustainability. In addition, we support our employees in their own voluntary efforts by giving them 2 days of paid time off in which to volunteer in the community. Some of the most inspirational and impressive leaders in Wisconsin's business community have been honored in the past with this award, and of course, tonight is no exception, as we recognize my friend Jim Popp, this year's Distinguished Executive. Jim is a highly respected leader by both those that lead beside him as well as those that he leads. So we have a video. Let's learn a little bit more about Jim.
Jim Popp has spent almost his entire career in the banking industry, masterfully building relationships with clients and colleagues while successfully closing deals and uniting teams around him. He now confidently leads the way as president and CEO at Johnson Financial Group.
Well, the interesting thing is when we were ready to look for the next leader of Johnson Financial Group, we were prepared for a very long process. And, we are a family business, so my family name's on the door. There's a little bit more scrutiny when you've got to have someone represent you in the market, and we've got generations of legacy to represent. So we were prepared for a long process. When we started it, however, it turned out to be one of the most efficient, fastest hiring processes I've ever been in.
Jim is very successful as a leader. First and foremost, he has executive presence. And so when he speaks up, people really listen to him. He's energetic, he's enthusiastic, he's insightful. And so he really truly is a leader. He's also a servant leader, and he really does work on behalf of others and uses his leadership and expertise to better our community. And that's just so special.
Jim also has some intrinsic characteristics that have allowed him to excel.
Well, I think what motivates Jim is he's a competitor, and he wants to do good. He wants his customers to do good. He wants his community to do good. Underneath Jim, I think, is a real, true competitor in every sense of the world.
Jim has more energy. He makes me tired just watching what he does, but he enjoys it. He enjoys touching base with people. He's not behind the desk. He's out and about, whether it's with our employees, whether it's out in the community, meeting with customers. He goes to community functions. He's at, no doubt you'll find Jim pop, and not because he thinks he should be there, because he wants to be there and he's part of it.
Both the young at heart and the young people in our community also have a lot they can learn from Jim.
I think Jim would describe success as in the overall health and prosperity of our community. It's a tall bar, it's a high bar, but it is a measuring stick, and to make sure that we're doing everything we can to allow our young people to become future citizens and give back.
Well, I think the advice Jim would offer people is have a passion for what you do. If you have a passion for what you do like Jim does, you never have to go to work a day in your life. And I don't think Jim has ever worked a day in his life. And I mean that sincerely, because I think he really has a passion for what he does, and it comes through when you see him either volunteering or you see him engaged in a deal.
In recognition of his commitment to the communities we live and work, his servant leadership, and the inspiring pathways he's making possible for our youth, Junior Achievement of Wisconsin proudly presents the Distinguished Executive Award, sponsored by Wells Fargo, to Jim Pop.
Please join me in congratulating this year's Distinguished Executive, Jim Pop.
Never worked a day in his life. All right. Well, hey, good evening, everybody. It's really great tonight to see so many friends, so many colleagues, so many familiar faces. Probably the best thing about it is to see people's faces without a mask. For so long, we've been in masks. So it's great to see everybody, and great to see everybody enjoying themselves. I want to start tonight by congratulating the 4 Hall of Fame inductees, along with all my fellow honorees. I have had this great privilege in my career to work with 3 of the 4 inductees, and so it was a great privilege and honor. And I've watched them work, and seeing how they've run their companies and what they've done for their companies and their communities and the Wisconsin business community is really something special. So congratulations to all of you, to all of your families. It's great to have been with you. Next, I'd certainly like to say thank you to Junior Achievement of Wisconsin, not just for this recognition, but for what Junior Achievement does for the kids in this community day in and day out to prepare them for life. Like many of you, I've had the opportunity to volunteer at Junior Achievement in the past. In fact, I will tell you, I probably will never forget the day I volunteered at BizTown. Like, how many of you have been to BizTown? Many of you have been to BizTown. So I I stopped in to meet the newly elected mayor of Biztown. Now, he was a sixth grader, right? So like he's been mayor for an hour, right? Probably the first and last time he'll be mayor, probably. And I leaned down to introduce myself to him, and he looked over at me and he gave me a look. And he gave me this, like a stink eye look. And he said, you know what? He said, I've got a sanitation issue going on right now. I got a stack of checks over here that have to get out in 15 minutes. Give me a minute. And I thought, wow. Like you talk about incredible experience for a young kid like that. It really, I've told that story 1,000 times, and I still think it's funny. Finally, I'd like to thank many of you who are in the room here tonight with us. I'll start with my wife, Julie, who she's been my sounding board for 32 years. She probably had no idea she was going to have to go, She probably had no idea she was going to have to go to this many events like this over 32 years. There's still more to come, I suspect. So thanks for hanging in there. Special thanks to Helen Johnson, who is the chair of the board of the company I run. Helen, thank you for being here. More importantly, thank you for trusting me to lead your company. Interestingly, in 2014, I was on the committee and introduced Helen as the distinguished executive that year. So kind of a full circle moment, right? And to my colleagues, despite the fact that they didn't bring cutouts of my face, that was a miss, Mark Behrens, our CFO. But thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you all. There's 2 tables of them. I recognize more than anybody that what they do makes us run, not what I do. So, last but not least, thanks to so many of you who I've known for 20 years in Milwaukee. Milwaukee is kind of a community that thrives on bringing together really ordinary people to do extraordinary things. And that's what this community does. So it's been a true blessing. Thank you all for this honor. I hope you have a great evening and enjoy the evening.
Congratulations, Jim. I'm sure the copy machine is running right now with replicas of your face. Wouldn't that be fun tomorrow if you go into work and everybody's wearing Jim's face? How about it? Well, we're going to take a slight pause in our program so you can enjoy dinner. We'll return to our program very shortly. Enjoy this little break. I'm back. I hope you're enjoying this marvelous dinner. Here's to the wait staff that has done a marvelous job keeping the wind at bay, serving us those beautiful salads. Weren't they lovely? And dessert is just splendid as well. I'm not going to stop you from continuing to eat, but we're going to let the program continue as well. The Wisconsin Business Hall of Fame was established in 1990. It recognizes nearly 125 visionary leaders. You've seen many of them on the screen today and gone, oh my goodness, him, her, him. These successful entrepreneurs, owners, founders, and CEOs all share a commitment to excellence, undeniable drive, and passion to achieve. We're pleased to showcase all of the laureate stories through our interactive exhibit housed right inside, that's right, the Junior Achievement Kohl's Education Center. You will likely see it. If you haven't already, venture in, it's worth the time. And thank you to the members of this year's selection committee who review many qualified candidates before selecting each laureate class. This committee is comprised of inducted laureates and business deans and is chaired by Russ Darrow. Let's hear it for Russ. The laureates we induct tonight have been called dreamers and risk takers, yet they inspired a following of others who shared their vision, valued their depth of leadership, and embraced their enthusiasm. Their values shaped extraordinary cultures. They set out to create better, more productive lives for their employees, who became family. They fashioned new and innovative ways of doing business. They set extraordinary goals, and they exceeded them. Throughout their journey, they knew who they were and where they were going, with an internal compass that always pointed to greatness. What they built is far more important and long-lasting than financial gain. They built legacies. These are their lives, these are their achievements and their stories, which started right here in Wisconsin. You may know it as a tradition to be introduced to our laureates by third-grade students who help bring a memorable part of their stories to life. Despite the unique circumstances the past year has brought, we are thrilled to have 8 third graders from Lumen Schools celebrate the incredible lives of our honorees tonight with some pre-recorded performances. Let's get to know our first, shall we? Let's meet Jack Link.
Boy, it sure is nice of you to give me a tour of the plant today, Jack.
Well, it's my privilege. We don't get too many visitors up here in my nook.
Oh, no problem. It only took me a 2-hour drive on gravel road and a short snowmobile ride through the blizzard to make it here, but I did. I'm just kidding, Jack. It was no trouble at all.
Ah, good. Why don't you follow my personal favorite, some Jack Teriyaki beef jerky?
I'd love to. Thanks. Jack, what are those sirens?
We need a thin attachment on the one-line floor immediately.
Jack, don't be silly. I just dropped a crumb. Here, let me pick it up.
Jayana, stay right there. We maintain a 99.2 clean rating from three different agencies. It's what I'm most proud of after a while. The only things I tell my employees is stay clean, stay safe, and do what your mom taught you what to do.
Boy, Jack, there really is something to be said for. I can tell you do take it very seriously. That'll deter your employees.
Well, there's only one other thing I say. If we can't make jerky, we can always make snowballs.
That's a tough act to follow. Please join me in welcoming Jack Link, but first a little
Jack
more
Link's
about
story
his life.
is an exciting story, and as he says, quote, it's basically the American dream. But it doesn't just start with our inductee, Jack Link. It starts with Chris, Jack's great-grandfather, who brought his family's sausage recipes with him when he immigrated to northern Wisconsin. The recipes and a shared love of fine meats were passed along through the Link family for generations, when Jack had the idea to take his grandfather's recipes and make them into jerky. At the age of 12, Jack began working with his father, Wilfred Wolf Link, a successful cattleman in his own right. Wolf taught Jack how to be successful in the meat business. By 1986, Jack began selling Jack Links to convenience stores across Wisconsin. He built his business with a relentless focus on cleanliness and safety for both products and people. He's always said, quote, it starts with soap and water, a clean white shirt, and keeping our people safe. Adhering to these values, the company not only exceeds industry standards for extraordinary cleanliness, but they also treat their customers, employees, and vendors as they would want to be treated. It's Jack's recipe to success. The business escalated quickly when Jack pared down the meat offerings and focused in on selling jerky, with another huge boost coming after a partnership with Burnett String Cheese. With the company now selling nationwide, Jack Links has continued to grow to over 4,000 plus global team members, but its sights are still focused on their commitment to delivering delicious, high-quality protein snacks. Prior to serving as Jack Link's chairman, Jack earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration from the University of Wisconsin Stout in Menominee, and a Sales Management Business degree from Minneapolis Business College. From there, he began serving as the Chief Executive Officer after founding the family-owned company in 1985. Guided by Jack's vision, Jack Links is now the global meat snack category leader and the #4 brand in the U.S. overall snack category. Jack is equally passionate about supporting the communities in which he lives and works. Over the years, Jack has helped raise over $1 million for educational and community charities. Among the various programs he has supported, he is especially proud of the Jack Links Aquatic and Activity Center, support for children's hospitals, Butterfly Sanctuary, and the company's sustainability efforts. He's also served on the board of directors of Spooner Hospital in Spooner, Wisconsin, and has supported Students for Free Enterprise and the Northwood Education Foundation. Jack has intentionally sought out small towns like the one he was born and raised in to build his businesses and give employment to these communities. In 2010, Jack was named the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year national winner in the Retail and Consumer Products category. He was also given the Master Entrepreneur of the Year award, a top honor in the regional program. In 2018, Jack and his wife, Mary Jo, opened the Jack Links Aquatic and Activity Center, the first community center in the greater Menong region. The center features a gym and multiple pools and ensures affordable access to state-of-the-art amenities for families, individuals, and local businesses. Jack also helped develop a new entrepreneurial badge for the Boy Scouts. He is a donor to Mayo Clinic Cancer Research and helped recruit a new minister to his hometown. The family-owned and operated company is onto its 5th generation link as Jack's youngest son, Troy, has taken over the reins as CEO. To this day, Jack remains close to his roots, residing in Menong, Wisconsin, with his family, where he watches over his land and cattle. But he says one of his greatest pleasures is encountering a stranger buying one of his products. For his steadfast contributions to the snack food industry and hometown spirit, we induct Jack Link into the Wisconsin Business Hall of Fame.
It was meant to be with a name like Link. Congratulations, Jack.
Well, you know, I guess I'd let my goose pimple speak for me. Thanks, you guys, for all you do, and all the children that we have an impact on. It's so special, and that's kind of what we did with our business. Is we kind of built it out of the passion and the love for each other, and you know, we made a joke out of the keeping your hands clean. But that's stayed with us in our culture all these years. So it's been pretty incredible how a joke like that could happen and actually form part of our culture. And especially during this last pandemic, we were really clean. So you know, as it showed there, we are 99% and 98%. Most of the time, real close to 100%, cleaner than most hospitals. Enough about cleanliness. Wow, again, thanks. And there's so many people in this room that has affected my life. The bankers and the lawyers and the attorneys and plant managers and spice people and wow. And so I'd just like to say a little bit about the early days of my life. We were in we had a shopping center that was more like Walmart in our little town of Minong, 500 people. But we sold everything in that shopping center. Cars, boats, motors, farm machinery, RVs, mobile homes, clothing, meat, and 47 different kinds of sausages. all at a discount. So we were really busy. It was called the working man's place to buy. And that's who we've always been, we've always been kind of the working man's place to buy. And we've always treated our people that way. But we got into some trouble there, and my point is that you have to have enough money in your business to make it go. So for the students that are listening, don't start a business unless you did proper financial planning. So I would like to say that one more time. Do not start a business until you have proper financial planning. Otherwise, you might end up like on Shark Tank. And looking for a partner at the last minute to keep your business afloat. And that's not what you want to do. But anyway, that's just, I'm sure you've all had that message and taught that message from years, but be careful with your money. So after doing all that stuff, and I was kind of, in my life, I was kind of a little bit here and a little bit there, buy this, sell that, da-da-da-da-da. So I had a little talk with my uncle, and he said, you need to kind of figure out what the hell you're going to do and build a fence around that and get in that fence and concentrate on what you're doing. And then my dad says, yeah, you know, and it doesn't start at 8 o'clock in the morning. You got to join the 6 o'clock club. You got to get your ass out of bed and get to work. So I got in that fence, and I decided just to make jerky. Well, how we got into that business, I hope I'm not running out of time. How we got into that business is one day, it was 20 below zero in Minong, northern Wisconsin. We were hunting, had bad luck, pull up to a convenience store. My son Troy gets out, he buys some jerky, brings it back. I said, boy, we can do better than that. And the price is pretty high. So we went back into the plant that afternoon to work. You know, when you're an independent businessman, you never miss a day or an hour at work. Even if you do play hooky, you get right back in there. So we took some meat that we had there and we sliced it and we laid it in the oven. And when jerky comes out of the oven, wow, I want to tell you, it's really, really good. And so we said, well, we think we got something that's going to fit in that fence and we think we can sell it. Well, in those particular days, there wasn't any machinery you could just go and buy. So we had to manufacture our own machinery that was, you know, couldn't slice that much by hand. And so we had to make machines that would be able to slice actually, because it's very important when you're making jerky to get the exact same thickness. Right, Terry? We made some that didn't get that way. Well, anyway, we did that, and then we needed a packaging machine. So there was a magazine laying on my desk, and on the back of it, it said, here's a packaging machine, new state-of-the-art packaging machine by T.W. Cutter in Boston. Well, coming from Minong, I don't know about doing business out in Boston, but I'll call the guy. So I called him, and I said, you know, I'd like to buy your machine, but I don't have much money. And he was there after his hours, and he was actually the boss. I said, well, could we pay for it by the month? He said, yeah, I'll try you guys out. Well, he did. He trusted us, and we trusted all of our customers over the years, too, and I'm sure you guys have. So trust is important in business. After that, I bought 7 machines from him. So as it turned out, we started making the jerky there, and when we didn't do anything special. We just did the American dream. We just stayed in there, and as I was saying, we washed our hands and said hello and please, and we really waited on the trade. Well, what happened to our growth is the son, Troy, he's out on the road. He was down in Kentucky, and one time, and he said, boy, I'm moving here. He says, this is the most beautiful place I've ever been. But he's back living in Wisconsin. Well, anyway, he would kind of sell, and I could feel, you know, if we needed something or if we needed more production. So I built a plant. And then he'd come home, he'd say, geez, you built the plant? And I said, yeah, you got to sell more. So that was our plan in early days. We didn't really have to answer to anybody, and we didn't do a whole lot of planning. We just did what people expected us to do. From the heart, we just serviced our customers, and we took care of them. We did the trade shows, and we just kind of did the right thing. So as we continued to grow, we kept knocking on the doors of people, and people came to us and wanted to buy us. And one guy said, you know, I'd like to buy your company. He said, would you sell it? And I said, well, I really don't have a reason. I said, I got a beautiful wife, great son, beautiful dog, new pickup truck, and new blue jeans. What the hell else is there? So I said, no, I don't want to sell it. So I just wanted to acknowledge all the friends that I have, and we're going to work really hard with the students that we know in the part up north, and maybe we can get the Johnson family in cooperation and do Cable, Wisconsin, and Hayward, and so on. But I just want to thank everybody, and special with the family and the wife and the kids and everybody. And it's been a really American dream. It's been simple. It's been a great time. Jerky's been a fun business, and it's really, really fun to come here. And I still get the goose pimples. So thanks a lot for listening to me.
A wife, a son, a dog, and blue jeans? Is that okay? Oh, pickup truck. The pickup truck. That's right. Congratulations to Jack. Let's meet our next laureate, Jack McKeithen.
Hi, Jack. Well, the chill Wisconsin air is sure settling in for another long winter, isn't it?
It sure is.
Well, my plans involve me hopping a plane straight to Florida. I can't wait.
Patty, I'm very sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry to hear that. Why would you say something like that?
Well, there's not many places you truly get the experience of all 4 seasons. Well, I do most of my business outside of Wisconsin, but I stay right here for that very reason.
Wow, Jack. I guess you're truly meant to be a Wisconsinite. How are you spending your winter?
Patty, I'm glad you asked. I'm heading, as they say, up north. The state line of the UP is right outside of my cabins, libraries, windows. Well, let's get much better than that. I'll be tearing up snowmobile trails like it's nobody's business.
I see. That does sound like a fun way to spend your winter if you're going to stay in Wisconsin.
Yup, but I'll always be here.
Nice, Jack. And I'll always be in Florida.
For Daniel F. McKeithen Jr., better known as Jack, to family, beloved colleagues, and friends, hard work and a friendly approach always paid off. McKeithen was born in 1935 and was raised on a large tobacco farm with his 5 siblings in Abbotsburg, North Carolina, and is a 1953 graduate of Bladenboro High School. He was raised in a farm community where supporting others was a way of life. It is this spirit of generosity and giving that suffused Jack's entire life. Jack attended Duke University, but after a few years he changed his major and transferred to Oklahoma University. After graduating in 1959 with a BS degree in geology, he joined an activating Tamarack Petroleum Company with Joseph E. Line Jr. Tamarack Petroleum has been privately held for 61 years and continues to be headquartered in Milwaukee. Jack became president of Tamarack in 1973. That same year, he joined the board of Schlitz Brewing and became chairman of the board in 1976. He remained chairman of the Schlitz board until 1982. He rejoined Tamarack in 1981 as president and became chairman and CEO in 1994. He was also president of Active Investor Management, Inc., an affiliate of Tamarack since 1984. Jack loved all that Wisconsin had to offer. Spending time enjoying outdoor sports and snowmobiling in the winter in the Northwoods was one of his favorites. Summer and fall months brought long Harley rides throughout the United States with his wife Patty and good friends. His favorite place to relax and recharge was their lake cabin in Wisconsin's Northwoods. For more than 5 decades, McKeithen not only shaped many corporate boardrooms, his leadership in civic affairs was extraordinary. He was incredibly generous with his advice, insight, and financial contributions. He was a community pillar, from running a major brewery to the success of the Great Circus Parade to helping Miller Park to fruition. His last major contribution to the city was helping establish the Urban Staples building that houses the Milwaukee Mounted Police Force horses, as well as therapy horses for the Veterans Affairs PTSD program. While his number of awards is far too long to list, his nonprofit board positions were numerous. Jack McKeithen's list of civic affairs includes Service for Junior Achievement of Wisconsin, the Zoological Society of Milwaukee County, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Milwaukee, Columbia Health Systems, Columbia Foundation, and Columbia St. Mary's Foundation, the Milwaukee County Research Park Corporation, the Southeast Wisconsin Professional Baseball Park District, the Cardiovascular Research Center Advisory Board for the Medical College of Wisconsin, as well as Marquette University and the Health Fair Foundation. Throughout it all, Jack was known for his gentlemanly manner and Southern charm. Jack's wife Patty and his family continue his legacy and his contributions to Wisconsin and the Milwaukee area. In recognition of his contributions to the petroleum industry and his personal investment in the Milwaukee community, we induct Daniel F. Jack McKeithen Jr. into the Wisconsin Business Hall of Fame.
How did he become Jack? That's one thing I hope we can answer. Please join me in welcoming Patty McKeithen, accepting the honor for her late husband, Jack.
Thank you very much. I love this skit because when I was first dating Jack, and I thought, oh man, we're going to be spending winters in Florida or Arizona. No, he said, we're going up north to the cabin and you're going to learn how to snowmobile. And so that's exactly what we did, which was kind of interesting for a man from North Carolina. But on behalf of myself, our families, I want to thank Junior Achievement, and I want to thank the selection committee. I also want to congratulate the other inductees. Jack was the perfect combination of a leader, a businessman, and an entrepreneur. He just had it. He was self-motivated. He was a risk taker. I mean, when you're drilling for oil, risk is a big word, all capital letters, and he was willing to take the risk. He was passionate about the petroleum business. He had leadership positions in the industry, and he also was very flexible in his thinking, because in that business, you're drilling and it could be a dry hole, but he was the one that would say, I think over here a little bit more, we're going to hit oil. And he was usually right. He was an excellent networker. That gentlemanly manner, that soft Southern drawl, just drew everybody in. And he was an excellent listener. People in the business community, social community, they wanted Jack's insights into situations that might be going on, and he was always very willing to give them. I received a note recently from a friend of his, and this person and Jack were trustees together on the Northwestern Mutual Company board. And he wrote, Jack was an outstanding businessman, but his kindness and concerns for others was Hall of Fame noteworthy. So thank you so much for this. This is wonderful for me, and it's wonderful for his daughters and the family. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty. We're going to take a brief pause to our induction ceremony. As you know, our presence here tonight is not only to support the incredible award winners we've met so far, but also to support Junior Achievement of Wisconsin. So get out your wallets and your credit cards so you can allow students to dream bigger, dreams through economic empowerment. Tonight, we like to recognize Jonah Larson, winner of the 2021 State Young Entrepreneur Live event hosted by Junior Achievement. We are thrilled to have Jonah and Michael Schultz on behalf of award sponsor EY here with us tonight. Let's welcome them.
Got my little buddy coming up here. Good evening. EY is very proud to sponsor and support the Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award this year, as we have for the last several years. It's a special partnership led by Junior Achievement and the Department of Public Instruction. EY, as you've heard earlier, has its own Entrepreneur of the Year Award program, which is a global program that originated right here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And again, as you heard before, Jack Link was a winner of that award years ago. As believers in entrepreneurs, we here at EY are especially proud to honor another Wisconsinite, a young entrepreneur. Jonah, let's learn a little bit more about those magic hands of yours.
Hello, crochet friends. It's me.
Give Jonah Larson a ball of yarn
I can make things pretty quick.
and watch him work his magic.
I can make a hat in 46 minutes. Hi, crochet friends. It's
Check
me.
out his social media accounts, you'll see what he's capable of. The middle schooler from La Crosse is out to prove crocheting, not just for grannies.
Yeah, that's the way it used to be, but now crocheting's a craft for everyone. All ages. It doesn't matter your gender, it doesn't matter anything about you.
It's a skill, Jonah says, came to him by accident when at age 5, his aunt let him look through an old bag of leftover craft supplies.
And in that bag, I found a shiny metal tool, which happened to be a crochet hook, and my mom found me a YouTube tutorial on how to make a dishcloth because, of course, these days you can learn anything from YouTube. Tomorrow is my dad's birthday,
Which started as making things for friends and family,
so I'll make him an Afghan,
cross-stitched into a business by age 10,
an autobiography at age 11, a pattern book at age 12.
now at 13 years old, his how-to videos online
On YouTube, I have around 107,000.
have earned him thousands of subscribers, a sponsorship, and national media appearances.
Hi, Jonah. Hi, Drew. Becoming an influencer for a huge yarn company, being a correspondent on the Drew Barrymore Show, having over 250,000 followers on Instagram, and now having a YouTube and a Facebook.
But no entrepreneur's success can stay untangled without some help.
Well, it's because my mom, my dad, and my whole family, they're always there to support me and to keep me going.
Larson's busy hands have a bright future.
When I grow up, I'd like to become a surgeon.
Whose already padded resume can add one more line, Junior Achievement Young Entrepreneur Live finalist. Ben Handelman, Fox 6 News.
This guy's great. EY is inspired by, we're excited for, and we're pleased to help encourage young entrepreneurs like Jonah. Congratulations on being this year's Wisconsin 2021 Young Entrepreneur of the Year winner. And don't let him know, but we're all going to be working for him someday. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to have been awarded this distinction. For me personally, I have seen the ways in which entrepreneurship can transform one's life. And it's one of the reasons I'm honored to be standing before all of you tonight. I've learned you can take anything you might be passionate about and truly make it into whatever you believe it can be. I also am a testament to what the power people can have in transforming a life. Before I found crocheting, I was a naughty kid. I like to refer to those my rascal years, though. I was kicked out of 3 different daycares. Yes, you heard that right. In school, I couldn't focus. I was written up and sent to the principal's office more times than my parents could even dream of. But it took one teacher who believed in me to change the trajectory of my future. That one teacher thought my crocheting could help me focus better in class and not get bored, but more importantly to her, not cause so much trouble. She was right. Crocheting did that and so much more for me. The impact that one teacher had in my life is similar to the impact that Junior Achievement volunteers have as they enter classrooms across the state. Junior Achievement volunteers teach skills, inspire creativity, and instill knowledge that students will never forget. In fact, 1 in 5 Junior Achievement alumni work in the same field as their Junior Achievement volunteers. That's what you call a powerful impact. Junior Achievement sends students on the course to find career success, start a business, and navigate economic uncertainty. I hope you will make a personal investment in the students around Wisconsin. Please accept the opportunity to support the great work of Junior Achievement, crochet away, and more importantly, fear the deer.
Off script, he did do something for Giannis, and he got a signed jersey when he walked off the court, so he's a big Bucks fan, as we all are.
So how many people in this room cause a little trouble in grade school? Perhaps talk too much. A little check for that, a little, okay, I'm just, no time to really make any self-confessions here today, but we will continue. At this point, we're going to take a look at your pledge card. Please take a look at your pledge cards. They're located on the back of your programs. On it, you have the opportunity to inspire students to succeed, to believe anything is possible. Take a moment, fill out the pledge cards, or you can text WBHF21. Is that on the back of the card too? Oh, it's right there on that screen. Good thing, and then to 50155. So that's again, text WBHF21 to 50155 to make your donations. No gift is too small or too large. Please place your completed pledge cards underneath your table's centerpiece. The JA staff will collect them at the immediate conclusion of tonight's program. I'm going to give you a few moments to complete your pledges, and then our program will continue.
Tomorrow will be a better day. A day for making new friends, standing ovations, hugging loved ones, and for all those other moments we took for granted. This better tomorrow is more than just a day away. Until then, Junior Achievement is preparing young people by helping them make the connection between education and their dreams, increasing their likelihood of finding career success, starting a business, and navigating economic uncertainty. We are giving young people the gift of hope, and when that better tomorrow finally arrives, so will they.
A footnote, the text information is also on your pledge card, so if, as the program continues, you want to continue making pledges, go for it. Let's now continue tonight's program and meet Dave Scogan.
Hey Dave, long time no see.
Hi Mackenzie, great to see you. How was your work?
Dave, what was that about?
Oh, there was a gentleman up front, poor guy locked his keys to his car, so I called the courtesy service to help him out.
Wow, Dave, that's awfully nice, but I thought this was a grocery business, not roadside assistance.
You make a good point, Mackenzie, but we're not in the grocery business either.
Are you sure? Because I've seen that festival sign in quite a few places around town.
It's the people's business we're in, Mackenzie. Every decision we make is driven by one principle. Will it bring the guest bag? It's a little thing I like to call the boomerang theory.
Wow, Dave, you certainly impressed me, but I've got to get going.
Hi, Mackenzie. Great to see you.
Dave, you just said that to me a minute ago.
Well, you know another principle of mine is if you stand within 10 floor towers of me, I'm not going to not greet you.
That's it. I've got to go.
Dave Scogan got an early start in the grocery industry, spending much of his childhood in his parents' store, which was attached to their home, Scogan's IGA in Onalaska. While his first jobs included bagging potatoes and sorting eggs, he'd quickly grow to take on more responsibility in the store. After being a successful high school athlete, Dave graduated and moved from potatoes and eggs to managing his dad's meat department after his grandpa retired. Dave also met his future wife, Barb, in the grocery industry when his dad hired her as an employee in the store. After high school, Dave wanted to apply the leadership and dedication skills he learned from athletics into a career as a coach, an ambition that has certainly come to fruition, though not on a field. Instead, Dave has applied his skills and innovative spirit to the supermarket and the teams of associates he has led, guiding them with servant leadership principles and following his own motto, hire for attitude and teach the skill. The principles that Dave has exuded has developed associates who build a winning culture centered around putting people before profits. Leadership is something that Dave has been exemplifying since he took over store operations of Scogan's IGA in 1974. By 1989, he was named National Retailer of the Year by IGA International. While the store's success continues to grow under the leadership of Dave's son Mark, Dave remains committed to the grocery business and still spends time in the stores, meeting with guests and associates as festival's chairman. In 1990, the Scogans evolved from the IGA model to the Big Box Festival Foods model. While the brand was growing from 1 to over 30 locations in the state of Wisconsin, so were the honors. Through the 2000s, Dave and Festival Foods CEO Barb Scogan earned numerous accolades in their field. In 2005, Dave was named Wisconsin Grocer of the Year. In 2007, Dave and Barb were named Outstanding Philanthropists by the Association of Fundraising Professionals, Upper Mississippi Valley Chapter. A decade later, the pair was named People of the Year by the La Crosse Tribune for their impact in the La Crosse area, the development of downtown Onalaska, and their initiative to provide local schools with a whole child servant leadership curriculum, Character Strong, which has now been adopted by over 20 local schools. In 2013, Dave became a published author with his book, Boomerang, based on his career of leadership principles that bring the customers back. Dave will tell you that community involvement is one of the core components for his success, which is why he's always wanted to put community first. Through the years, Dave has been honored as a hometown hero by President Clinton, chairman for Onalaska YMCA Capital Campaign, capital campaigner for Onalaska First Lutheran Church, and donor to Gunderson Lutheran Hospital and Mayo Clinic, among many other efforts. In 2019, Dave and Barb donated a previous Festival Foods building to the Boys and Girls Club, along with $5 million to get the project rolling, turning it into a club and community center. With all of his business and philanthropic achievements, Dave is most proud of his 50-year marriage, their 2 children, and 4 grandchildren. In recognition of his leadership, both in business and the community, we honor Dave Scogan and induct him into the Wisconsin Business Hall of Fame.
Let's welcome Dave to the stage.
Thank you, Kathy. And thank you, Junior Achievement folks. It's an honor that I feel a little bit guilty about accepting because my wife, Barbara, she'll stand up here in a minute, but her and I were in the trenches for 31 years building this company. She gave up her job in the medical field after my dad passed away, and she came and joined us and did a wonderful job of just being in the trenches with me, and her name could very well be inscribed in that plaque, trophy, whatever it's going to be. I'd like to introduce you to Barb and our son Mark and our grandson Zach. If you just stand up quickly, please. And back home watching virtually is our daughter Sue and brother Tom and Gary. It's been said that the 2 best days of our life, number 1, when we're born, number 2, when we discover why. I discovered why after failing miserably my first year of college. I wanted to be a coach, and that dream ended. I went home and Dad says, join the meat department, Grandpa's going to retire. I was there for 10 plus years. I discovered my why. I believe we're all in the same profession here tonight. We have different vocations, but we're all in the same profession. Serving God by serving other people. It's our higher purpose. I believe in what Martin Luther King Jr. said when he's talking about serving. He said this, anyone can be great because anyone can serve. You don't need a college degree to serve. You need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. Every day in our 34 stores, we serve 80,000 people. What an opportunity for us
to breathe life in other people. There's no other industry that I know of that has that many people coming through their stores every day. A smile, a thank you, a decorating a cake, a special fruit basket, cutting a special steak, we can breathe life in other people's lives. One measure of our success is how much wealth we gain, but I believe the better measurement is how many people we serve. That's what I love about this business we've been in. Barb and I, what success meant to us is staying humble, knowing that we had not arrived. We were teachable. Number two, we didn't chase money. Money was merely the applause we get for doing a good job. We were innovators. We stole ideas. We took the best of what other people had already figured out. John Bergstrom figured out that when he answered the phone and asked for a department or asked for a person in his dealerships, 2 words, my pleasure. We stole that, and it's effective, and we've been using it for 20-some years. Sam Walton taught us you come within 10 tile of a guest, you greet them. Hello, nice little child you have there. You finding everything all right? The 10 tile rule by Sam Walton. We were merciless in stealing ideas, and I understand Sam Walton was too. Number 4 is luck. We're giving ourselves far too much credit if we don't attribute or factor luck into our success. I was lucky that Barb's parents, when she was in 8th grade, moved 1 block from our store, my father's store. She happened to catch me taking an apple off the produce shelf, walking out the back door, entered the back door, went to my father in the 2-aisle supermarket and narked on me, didn't know me. But from then on, my brothers and I, we had to pay for our groceries. She got a job weeks later at the store as a 14-year-old cashier, and I ended up with a wonderful wife of 56 years. Mark, our son Mark, was an outstanding student and athlete at Viterbo University. And we didn't talk much about what was next for him. But one day I'm reading the program at school, at the college, and they were featuring him on a cover. I asked him what he'd like to do, and he says, I think I'm going to follow my dad's footsteps. I turned to Barb, I handed the program, look at here. Barb's going to join the business. And he did, and he's at the bows of the ship today doing a wonderful job. So we've been in a good industry with a wind to our back. And all we had to do was the work, and we enjoyed every day of it. In closing, I want to read a poem to you. Some of you have heard it, but I can't get enough of it. It was written by Linda Ellis, and it talks about the dash. So that's the name of the poem. That's that line between death and birth on the tombstone. I read of a man who stood to speak at a funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of her birth and spoke the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was that dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that she spent here on earth. And now only those who loved her know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that still can be rearranged. If you could just slow down enough and consider what's true and real and always try to understand the way other people feel. And be less quick to anger and show appreciation more and love the people in your life like you've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might last just a little while. So when your eulogy's being read, with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? Thank you for your kind attention.
Congratulations to Barb's husband, Dave. Rounding out our class of 2021 laureates is Tim Sullivan. Let's get to know more about Tim.
Boy,
it sure is a nice day out here, isn't it, Tim?
That it is, Gabriella.
I was thinking of spending the day out on the greens. Do you want to join?
The whole day, Gabriella, seems extreme.
Okay, maybe not the whole day, but an easy-going 18 holes sounds nice.
My limit is 9 holes. If I'm doing a tip too long, I get uncomfortable.
I see, Tim. You might want to get that checked out. But hey, I have an idea. The Brewers are playing at home today. How about we hit up the game?
Sure, I enjoy Brewers games. I typically don't longer than 5 innings, but if that's good with you, I'm all for it.
Tim, 5 innings? You can't be serious.
I just like to get the taste of things, Gabrielle. Like, get my feeling leave. What can I say?
Well, Tim, there isn't much to say. You know what? I have a great idea. How about I hit up the 18 holes and you go back to the office?
Now you're talking, Gabrielle. See you later.
Despite his small Midwestern roots, it doesn't take long to see Tim Sullivan's impact on the companies and people he's touched around the world, as well as the mark he's left on the city of Milwaukee. Born in Iowa and raised in the progressive, vibrant town of Champaign, Illinois, Tim excelled in school and began studying French in 5th grade. By his sophomore year, his family had moved to Waukesha, where he attended Catholic Memorial High School. Due to his advanced education in Champaign, he tested out of several preparatory classes and enrolled in industrial arts classes, leading him to become a certified welder, something he takes great pride in to this day. Through high school and college, Tim stocked Walgreens shelves at night for Marty Stein and spent his days working construction jobs with civil engineers, equipment operators, and laborers. These life experiences would later help shape his unique career and management style. His hard work paid off when he enrolled in what was at the time the only international MBA program in the world through American University, now part of Arizona State University. His language skills, coupled with his love of construction and machinery, made Tim a desirable candidate, and in 1976 he joined the 100-year-old machinery manufacturer Bucyrus Erie Company as a management trainee. The years that followed had Tim bouncing around the United States until he was sent to French-speaking Gabon, Africa for 2 years to lead the installation of machinery at a U.S. steel manganese mine. He then returned to Indiana, where he married Vivian. The two of them soon moved to Dallas and then to Australia for 4 years to oversee a major mining expansion. After returning to Milwaukee, Bucyrus, where Tim was now a junior manager, faced financial hardship. After purging the management team in 1994, Tim became an integral part of the new management, which returned the company to prominence. Tim's newly acquired turnaround skills led to recruitment by the paper industry. In his absence, Bucyrus was again on the edge of bankruptcy when Tim returned as the CEO in 2001. He took a failing company and turned it into one of the top 10 fastest-growing U.S. companies in both 2009 and 2010. The company was sold to Caterpillar in 2010 for $8.8 billion, with stock appreciation of over 1,800% in just over 6 years' time. During his 35 years with Bucyrus, Tim held 14 different positions, managed over 13,000 people, lived in 6 different states in the U.S., 2 foreign countries, and traveled to over 130 countries. He attributes his entrepreneurial business approach and work ethic to his mentor and serial entrepreneur, Marty Stein. Marty would always say, "I know I'm not the smartest guy, but I will outwork anybody." Tim gives back to Milwaukee through many organizations, including the Bucyrus Foundation, the Metro Milwaukee Association of Commerce, and St. Anne's Center for Intergenerational Care. His past work includes Big Brothers Big Sisters of Greater Milwaukee, United Way of Greater Milwaukee, Aurora Healthcare, Carroll University, Children's Hospital of Wisconsin, Greater Milwaukee Committee, Medical College of Wisconsin, Milwaukee School of Engineering, National Mining Association, Southeast Wisconsin Business Health Coalition, and the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee Business Advisory Council. Tim and his wife Vivian reside in Whitefish Bay. They have 2 grown children and 5 grandchildren. For his flawless record of business and for his tireless support of Milwaukee, we induct Tim Sullivan into the Wisconsin Business Hall of Fame.
Drop it.
Well, first of all, I saw Russ is here. Russ, thank you and the committee for nominating me for this honor. Appreciate it very much. I'd like to congratulate all the other inductees. Great stories, great lives. And last but not least, obviously, Junior Achievement. The work that Junior Achievement does in getting children involved in business is just amazing. And that's why we end up what we do. And on how we do it, you saw a good example of that tonight. It's kind of the circle of life, really. Marty was inducted 20 years ago, 2001. It's a great story because I was 15 when I showed up to be a stock boy. I didn't realize you had to be 16 to get a work permit. Marty didn't know it. Marty, when he hired me at 15, Marty was a whopping 29 years old. Already owned 3 Walgreens agency stores. A pharmacy graduate from the University of Wisconsin. Marty eventually created 20 stores throughout the state of Wisconsin. He sold them, made a fortune, started Stein Optical, sold that, made a fortune. Marty was a dear friend, a mentor, and he died penniless. Penniless. He had a great passion for the fact that he said, I'm giving all my money away, but I'm going to teach the nonprofits and the people that take that money how to use it wisely. Because just giving it away is not what you do. You have to stay engaged. Circle of life, Marty, as you saw in the video, his famous saying was, I'm not the smartest guy, but there's nobody that's going to outwork me. And I never forgot that. He was just an incredibly strong work ethic and obviously very successful as a businessman. We reconnected in 2000 when I returned to Milwaukee, and I got very much involved, obviously, in the philanthropy around the Milwaukee area. When I was at Carroll University, I was doing construction and working at night stocking shelves. And I was going to go to graduate school because I knew if I didn't get my MBA quickly, I'd never get it. I'd applied everywhere. And I had a stand-in advisor one day, Dr. Uldis Inweis. He was a German economics professor, and he was a crusher. But he was a wonderful guy, and he said, young man, where are you going to graduate school? And I told him where I had applied. He goes, no. He said, you must go to Thunderbird. I said, what's the Thunderbird? And he said, all he had to tell me was, you will get at least 2 job offers, and the job offers you will get will be at least 50% more than any other MBA. It's the only international business school in the world. 25% of the students were foreign students. 18% were female. You could not get in unless you had worked a job somewhere doing something. I did it. I had 4 job offers, and they were all very, very good. I went to my other advisor at Thunderbird, Woody Woodruff, Lucky Strike Unfiltered. Retired chairman and CEO of Polaroid. Woody was a great guy. Woody asked me what my choices were. My lowest offer was Bucyrus Erie Company. He says, don't do it, kid. Don't do it. He said, they're in commodities, they're in mining. It's up, it's down. He said, when it's up, it's great. When it's down, he said, you'll never survive the first trough. Well, I survived the first trough because I was in Africa, and I think they forgot about me over there. I survived the second, and the third, and the fourth created a bankruptcy. They brought in a man by the name of Frank Miller. Frank was a turnaround guy. Frank taught me more in 1 year how to deconstruct and reconstruct a broken company that you'll never learn in any school or working for 20 years. Frank was a brilliant guy. Frank smoked Lucky Strike unfiltered cigarettes. I was a proverbial inside candidate in 1998 to run the company. They went outside. I left the company, went to the paper industry, turned around a company which I wanted to try. I wanted to take that skill set to see if I could do it, see if I could take the Frank Miller experience and do it myself. And I did. We were able to sell a company to private equity. I returned to Bucyrus in 2000, a broken company, a company that was really in good shape when I left, but really was broken, really on the verge of bankruptcy again, up and down, the major leagues, and they were down. We were down. We did everything we could to deconstruct and reconstruct the company, and it wasn't working. Vivian and myself were sitting in church at St. John's in Mukwonago, Wisconsin, on a Sunday. I needed help. I'm going to church every day if I could. We couldn't get it jump started. And Father Bob that day gave a sermon, and he said, there's a survey of 90-year-old individuals last year, and they asked them, what was your biggest regret in life? Number 1 answer, they wish they would have taken more risk. Number 2 answer, they wish they would have done more for their fellow man. That hit me like a 2x4. Both things. I went in the next day, and I did some things that, you just don't do. I figured we had to do something that was completely risky. It was a Jack McKeithen move in the oil company. You got to do something. And we did. And the rest is history. In 2001, we started the turnaround. In 2004, we took the company back public again. We were the 8th best performing IPO of 2004. And we didn't come out until the end of July, so 5 months of performance, number 8. You know who number 9 was that year? This little company you may have heard of, Google. We beat Google in 2004. And you saw the rest of the statistics, they were amazing. One last story, and I got to end with this, but it's one of my favorite stories. In 2005, we were sponsoring a literacy contest with Sharp Literacy. And these were kids, they were supposed to read books and write book reports, and they had winners. And there were 3 winners, and the 3 winners came down to see our plant, see us, and see me. So these 3 young kids, who were about 8 years old, came into my office, and one little kid named James, he said, "Can I sit in your seat?" And I said, yeah, you can. And he sat in my seat. I said, "Do you have any questions, James?" He goes, "Yeah. How much money do you make?" I told him. His eyes got this big. I told him the truth. His eyes were really big. And he said, "Man, how do I get a job like this?" And I said, "You know, no one's ever asked me that." So I spent the next 15 minutes telling him my story. And that was really a wake-up call. I could name, it's easier to name the countries I had not traveled to, the millions, not hundreds of thousands, the millions of air miles, the weeks, the months, the years away from the family, the sacrifice that they had to make, the sacrifice that I made to be successful. And it was really kind of a watershed moment for me that if you're going to be successful, you're not going to be maybe the smartest guy, but you can't be outworked. So I said to James, "James, just remember this. You'll never be the smartest man, but never, ever be outworked." Marty Stein. Thank you.
All right. Remember the poem, The Dash? Well, it just so happens that Mr. Scogan has them on a card, and he would like everyone to have one. How are you going to do that? Should we just throw them? No. Oh, 50? Okay, fight it out. Okay, that's very nice. And it's a beautiful poem. Thank you very much. Well, congratulations to all our winners again. Big hand for everybody. Every day, exciting things are happening at the Junior Achievement Coles Education Center right over there. I encourage you to see JA's exciting programs firsthand. Contact Junior Achievement, and they will be happy to let you visit. It's my pleasure, and Fear the Deer, too. Where's Jonah? Has he already left? Oh, you're still here. Just imagine how many crochet items you could have done during the time of this program. What a wonderful group of people. I'm really honored to have spent a little bit of my retirement with you, and I'll come back again if you need me. Who knows? All right, thank you for attending tonight. We hope to see you next year. This concludes our event. Enjoy. And one more thanks to those luminaries, the kids who did the little skits. They were awesome, absolutely awesome.